Yo guys, back at another trading video. Today we're continuing our take profit account. Still in the eval stage, but I've traded like 2 days. Sorry, no, 3 days I want to say. And let me see what we're at. So 150K account, I have to reach a profit 2 days. So I traded 2 days. I have to reach my profit target of 9,000. Currently I'm sitting at plus 6,645. So I have roughly like 2,400 left before all I need to worry about is the trading days. Obviously I got to make sure my biggest day is not more than 3760. So let me do this. Let me do this so you can kind of get an idea. There you go. So as you can kind of see, this is what I'm at right now. And today is the 29th. So right now we're trying to find some trade opportunities. So what happened over the... so I'm looking at NASDAQ right now. And the window capture I had was ES. So that's a little awkward. Let me... That's kind of what I'm watching on NQ, is that there's a bunch of sells at this level here. If we hold this and show more bull pressure breaking above, the next level I see it targeting is going to be this, and possibly even the flat like 25,000 level. Because that's just going to be one of those psychological ones that everyone's watching. You can kind of see here, this is where price action was chopping up to. So any trends, I like to kind of hold, or at least my trading idea is that I would like to hold. If I'm entering at a specific level and I'm expecting it to move towards another one, I will look to hold for longer. If I take a trade between ranges, like what that typically means is like, okay, if you're in this range, what it could do is it could either fall back down here or fall back up there, right? And those opportunities are more for quick trades. If you're green, get out. Because you're basically in the middle of two levels, right? And it could go either way. Whereas if you enter in from a level and you put your stop kind of below whatever candle that you're looking at is, well, then you'll know very quickly whether or not you're right or wrong, if that makes sense. And there's no need to try to second guess it, because if we don't hold this level, then like this is the same support as before, or the same resistance as before, right? And it just moves down, and it's easy to see. I want to say there is also another level over here. Let me delete this. Another level there. Those are kind of like the two main gaps I see. Technically one there, but I mean, I'll mark it out just in case. And if you're looking for a long-term buy setup, like this area here would be, this is an area where like bulls have to kind of stand strong, because from here to the peak, if you're looking at sort of like your ICT entry model, your Fibonacci entry model, this would be a very nice place to target for longs, especially because you see how this move, it made such a quick move up. It's possible that there are a lot of buyers sitting in these levels that never got filled potentially. And that's kind of what you want. Yeah, look at that. Look how quickly that moved up. So 4 minutes until market open. This is kind of a level, right? Trend line. Might as well draw it out just so you're aware that it exists. 15 minutes. Stretch it out a tad bit more. So currently selling off. Small gap here. And it is pushing down. We filled this one. Our buyer showing up. Not really. Possible we're moving lower from here. There is also a gap here. It could stop everyone out that was here. Actually, I might take this. Oh, it's too late. Not too late per se, but it could potentially fill this area. Buyers here. Not enough. See how the way the candle is kind of moving up? There's a lot of indecision here, and once it starts selling, it'll be really quick. This gap got filled, left a gap here. $200 simple moving average. Yeah, I'm looking for buys in this area here. Oh, well, I'm looking, okay. You shouldn't say that straight up. The way you should look at it is, this is a zone that I've marked out for potential bullishness. We want to see how this zone actually reacts, right, when price reaches this. Because possibly, I will say, there's 1 minute until market open. And it is kind of selling off some volume here. Like if you look at the whole day, not crazy volume, but for pre-market volume, it's high, right? And this is one of those moves that you kind of want to watch too. You see how quickly this moved down? It's possible there are a bunch of sell orders sitting above here. It touched the level. Let's take a look. And double bottomed here. A lot of sellers. Look at that, like push down. Obviously, you want to wait for the wicks. Change this. Give me. Wow. Hit the trend line, automatically started dropping. We're trying to hold this low here. Let's take a deep dive and see what's going on. huge tail. There are a lot of sellers in this area here. And if it's bullish, it'll close above this wick here. Otherwise, it's possible in this area here, if it starts rejecting off again, we could possibly look to enter some shorts. And that's kind of what I'm watching. So basically, I'm watching this area for longs. If it hits this area, I'm looking for shorts. See how it closed beneath that? Now you're looking at, this is still bearish. Rejecting this trend line, kind of. No, I'm trying to move up. If it hits the 200, you see the price action. I'm going to do a sell limit of 3.
Order filled.
Okay, I'm filled. This is where I'm going to put my stop. And my target is going to be in this gap here. Oh, sorry. Let me move this back up here. Very clean entry. Moving a bud. I'm gonna leave it here. We're trying to decide whether or not we're holding this level. I might. So this is a huge selling level here. We've already stopped out these people here, the ones that they had their stops. So that's kind of like a liquidity sweep. I want to see the 200 SMA. Like I said, this level here for me, like visually, this is kind of where people were waiting, right? And I said like this would be a nice sell area if it does kind of like fall. Okay. I'm going to put it at the top of this gap. All right, I'm just going to take that because it's on top of the trend line. I know I wanted to aim for this, but I think I really, to be honest, should have let it try to run. The thing is, in actual trading with this prop firm, like Take Profit Trader, what ends up happening is their evaluation is based off of end of day drawdown, right? That being said, see it's moving up again here. And the same idea applied. I could have taken another short here, but the thing is, if you look at the way these wicks are playing out, it's starting to get more 50-50, right? And like I said, my original plan was for it to come into this area, prove that there's buyers, right? Because it double bottomed here. But if we're taking a look at liquidity and it takes this out, let me see. Yeah, if we're talking from a liquidity perspective, if it takes this out, a lot of the buyers should be willing to step in here. Or I shouldn't say that. This is where a lot of people are putting their stop right now. And this gap hasn't been filled. So the way you're kind of looking at it is you want them to all get stopped out before going higher. let's just say I like to do this too, just to kind of see the higher highs and higher lows. Yeah, you see how 50-50 this is now? Okay, now we're coming on another level. Sellers should be sitting in this area as well. Obviously, we want to see what it actually does, right, in this area. Because right now we're kind of pushing away from this, but this was never filled. And you see there's still a lot of buying power here. But you see how 50-50 this is? And if this candle doesn't close above that like wick, which is technically the high, there is no break of structure, right? So, or I guess the break of structure would technically be here. So it would technically need to close above here to be to become bullish, because you have your high and you have your low, right? And looking at this, it's obviously a downtrend. So if you want to take out this high and close above it, and that like invalidates the downtrend. I could technically take another short here because it's still the same trade idea as before. These wicks haven't, like I said, it hasn't closed above these wicks. The only thing I don't want is I don't want to randomly like spaz upwards, right? So now it's struggling to kind of close above this too. So I will enter short here.
Order filled.
Oops. I'm going to put my stop very, very tight. Like right here. And I'm going to put my buy orders right here. Well, actually, I'm going to... No, I'm going to leave it right here. Because I want to know quick whether or not my idea is invalidated.
Stop filled.
Oops, stop me out. Holding the trend line as support now, but it's just struggling to close above this. I'm moving up. Okay. Bulls are starting to find some gas here. I'm also watching ES to kind of see what's going on. ES is actually more bearish than NQ. So NQ is actually bullish here. ES is the one that's falling down. I know you guys can't see it. Let me... This is... Now I can't find. Oh. NQ. So lots of sellers at this level still. This gap is filled. Technically, these were good buys. I think ES is super bearish right now. This level, gap filled here. Let's stop people out here. This could be a move up actually. Genuine move up. I took this trade because ES was at a very bearish level.
Stop filled.
But ES is trying to move up again now. I went from green on the day to red. Huh? All right, sorry about that. I was kind of watching it, but I'm going to be going to Greece in a couple of days, so there's a couple things I need to talk to my mom about. But I've been like looking at the markets. Crazy move up. It's a good thing I stopped myself out. I was, I was getting a little bit worried that it was going to go all the way down and reach my take profits, but there you go. Let me see what this level was. This was this gap. So that's a high, that's a low. This is technically like a selling maker model. Yeah, I'm gonna sell here. Put a stop on these bodies. ES is actually on a level right now. I'm gonna retarget these lows here. Ooh, crazy. Quick 1,000. Some slight. Yeah, so let me show you what I was looking at with ES. Oh no, again, this is the Fibonacci entry I was talking about. The moment I saw it kind of push down here, and if you watch ES, I'll show you that too. ES is actually on a very important level right now, and it was kind of pushing under with some force, right? And again, because it moved up so fast, if it is bullish, it'll need to fill some orders here. This was something else. It didn't get marked out, but I noticed that there was a gap here too. They got slightly filled. Now ES, if it can find support at this level, then it could potentially make a move higher. But right now it doesn't seem like that exists. Well, actually it does. Long bottom tail. That's another thing that I noticed is when I focused a lot more on what the candlesticks are actually telling you, I noticed that my success rate drastically kind of went up. And it doesn't seem like there are any more buyers here. So it could potentially kind of move back down again. I'm going to sell here. I'm going to put a stop above this high here. I'm going to aim for these lows. I'm going to put it like right above here actually. I don't want it to like kind of tick me out. Still no buyers here. On NASDAQ at least. ES, it's showing some buying pressure but no volume. So what this means is there's absolutely no follow through on this move up. Well, I'm actually going to sell another 3. I'll put the stop right here at this high that this candle made. Actually, that this candle made. That's what I'm going to do. And on NASDAQ, I'm targeting this area here. Like I showed you on ES, there's a very similar area. Ooh. Really? Top ticked me out? That's crazy. There used to be a ton of sellers here. Those sellers don't seem to be that present anymore. Actually, they do. I'm gonna put my stop here because this looks like a head and shoulders pattern. Again, I want to target this liquidity like right around this level. Stop the break even. I'm gonna trail it super, super tight. I technically only need $400 more to pass the, I guess, profit target part of it. ES. ES is trying to fill this gap now. Let's see if there are any buyers stepping in here. I'm still going to be watching NASDAQ because NASDAQ hasn't filled that gap yet. ES completely filled it. There is some buying pressure here. So buyers exist at this level. Yeah, buyers definitely exist at this level. But not NASDAQ still has this gap to fill. I'm going to sell more here. I'm going to put a stop. To stop there, take profit kind of here. All right, so I ended the day with $2,535 in profit. Let's take a look at so I'm $180 above my profit goal. Let me show this. So right now I've already reached my profit goal of 9,000. My biggest profit day was 3,760, and obviously I did not. I did 2,500, so I'm good there. This is actually one of those days where I kind of really enjoy trading. Lots of setups that I can potentially see in the market right now. Wow, yeah. Let me show you this real quick. So this is where I took my profits at. But only because I needed that much more, and if it went against me, I didn't really want to hold it. But this is a very, very nice move. Very nice move. Swept the liquidity here. Probably gap filled here. There's a gap down here that hasn't been filled yet. There's also a new gap here. Also a new gap there if it doesn't get filled. Anyways, I have technically 2 more days that I need to trade because this is my 3rd day and I don't think I'm touching this anymore. Yeah, let me see. Watch DS. Lots of volume pushed up here, or at least on ES, decent volume. There's also a lot of decent volume here. This could be a liquidity grab before we go higher. I do actually want to take this trade. It's a little, my entry is a little, I don't want to take it here. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Gap right there. I expected to kind of fill this gap and go down lower. This is the 8 exponential moving average, I want to say. Simple moving average, 14 simple moving average. 8 EMA is the blue. A lot of buyers in this area here. ES just filled another gap. No sellers present. Potentially looking to move higher. I'm going to get into some shorts here. Oop, stop me out. And I'm back under. Still no sellers. Could run straight to highs. ES is on the 200 simple moving average right now. Filled another gap. Decent place to go short here. Ooh, there are buyers present on ES. Buyers are showing strength here. It moved up super fast. There should be a bunch of buy. Back down to the moving averages is what I'm kind of wanting to see. But I don't want to get ticked out. But I also don't want to let it run against me. ES has filled a gap right now. Fibonacci retracement level. This is the same entry that we tried to hit before, and this is the result. Stop at break even. Stopped out. Yes, potentially looking to move up here. Potentially, but there are some sellers still exist. ES ticked up, hit a level and rejected. Looking for this to come back down. Could potentially fill this gap here. ES going up, coming on that level again. Rejecting again. Double top rejection on ES on the 1 minute though. Doesn't tell you much. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my stop here. My buys here. There should be a bunch of unfilled orders here. Yes, moving down. I can be a little bit patient with this. My stop's at break even, so this play is technically free. This is just one of those things where you just kind of let time do its thing. And then my job is to just sit on the sidelines. Whoa, never mind. This level here, so many buyers just randomly showed up. I'm above my profit target again. I don't want to give it, even if it stops me out, I don't want to give it room to run against me. ES is popping up. Too much strength on the 200 again. Popping above the 200. Above the moving averages, so it's trying to be bullish right now. When you're feeling like you want to take a trade, move up your time frame. Yeah, I'm gonna sell more contracts here. Okay, this is where I want to be. Total account value currently is 159,415. I only need to trade for 2 more trading days, and what that means for me is I can just get into one ES contract super late at night, or like after market close, for example, right? And just hold for a minute, and that's all I have to do, because there's not going to be any high volume. It's a good thing I took my profits too, as you can kind of see there. So yeah, there we go. I have passed the take profit trader evaluation. So now I move on to, or hopefully one ES contract doesn't blow up $400 worth of buffer that I gave myself today. Because like I said, I will be on a trip going to Greece. So very solid execution today and very solid risk management. Couple of trades I did like. Didn't go my way, but I followed my risk management strategy. I just waited for it to give me a better entry, and it did. So cool. I'll download this and upload this all to YouTube for you guys to watch. I will see you guys in the next video then. Peace.